this recorded. Well, welcome everybody to another exciting What's Up Wednesday. We have so much good content for you today on May 25th, 2022. Again, every time I'm on these calls, I realize how fast time is passing by. So every second with all of you is so precious to me. So for those of you that may be here for the first time, my name is Adriana Alvarez, and I'm the head of sales for the Americas. And always a pleasure to be here with all of you. Know that this call is being recorded and will be shared with all of you. So our agenda today, we will start like usual with our operations updates. We're going to talk about our Sky High promotion, which is incredible during this month. And with that, we're going to speak about the benefits of owning a professional device. So Ken Close and Doc Steve are going to speak today. Really interesting topics. So again, if you are watching and recording, you want to stay through this. And if you know anybody that is not on this call right now, please invite them, because Ken Close is going to speak about the value of digital nutrition module, and Doc Steve is going to speak about the deep goods of the bioenergetic vitalisation module. And those are both modules that are available with our professional devices. And this month you can purchase a Resonance Plus device and have it upgraded to a professional for only 300 euros. So we're going to speak about that. Then we'll close with some Healympics Promotion, where you can earn potentially a free MagHealy. Imagine that. It can be up to from 12.5% discount up to 100% discount. So you want to hear about this and know that you can track yourself during the month of May and June to earn your own MagHealy, which I have one right here, which is amazing. And then we'll close with some April rank advancement recognition. Again, know that this call is being recorded and it will be shared on our Telegram and also on our YouTube channel. So let me see on the chat here. Let's get activated. I see some of you already. Alberta, Canada. Sunny LA, Manhattan. I live in New York for many years. So let's chat on here. Where are you coming from? And if it's your first time or your multiple time, again, welcome to our Healy family. We're always excited to have you on here. So let's get some of that energy, that collective energy on our chat for us to get this call started. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Jake Barron, our head of operations, and he has some really exciting news for all of you as well.
Yes, thanks, Adriana. So these are, I think, small updates, but they're very important ones for everyone to be aware of here. So typically, most things Healy related, when a time is put out there, it's typically in CET time zone, which is the Central European time. And this time of the year, well, their daylight savings time is a little bit different than ours, but typically we've always been a 6-hour difference here in the Eastern time zone compared to Germany, and then Pacific time, of course, 3 hours more, so 9 hours difference. But for promotion purposes, something that's changed fairly recently is that the cutoff time for all promotions, so all the ones that we have going on in May and then in the future as well, those are all now under UTC time, which is Coordinated Universal Time. So what that means is, okay, right now, this time of the year, that's a 4-hour time difference between Eastern time and UTC time. So it's actually 2 hours more on the last day of the month for us to be able to get those last few orders in on the last day of the month, because 11:59 p.m. UTC time is 7:59 p.m. Eastern time, and then 4:59 p.m. Pacific time. So it's instead of 6 hours and 9 hour difference between Eastern and Pacific, right now it is 4 hours and 7 hours difference. So just keep that in mind. If you're, of course, obviously a lot of these promos are important to get in certain orders at the last minute here to qualify for, especially the MagHealy incentive that we have going on now. But it's just a change that was made. It helps with the promos and tracking all of this globally is kind of the reason this was changed to UTC instead of CET. But also UTC doesn't change as far as daylight savings times goes in the future. So it's always a fixed time. So we'll just have to make sure we make an announcement when we do change time as well to remind people of the current Eastern and Pacific time zone. So that's one of the updates for today. And the second, I wanted to discuss the expert program group just briefly. So we talked about this on Tech Tip Tuesday last night, which that recording is available already on our YouTube page, HealyAmericas.com. It was a great call again last night with Ken and the team here. So, but yeah, expert programs. Back in March, we actually had a little bit of a segment on Tech Tip Tuesday where we explained how to get access to the expert program group, because it actually changed from when it was first launched. It used to be available for everybody. And then starting July 2021, it was made available as a subscription add-on for anyone that purchased a device since then. But then in April 2022, last month, that changed again to where it was available for everybody again. So from gold through professional, you have access to that expert program group. But then, so the question came up in one of our chat groups a week or two ago about, well, how do those people that joined between July 2021 and April 22, how do they get access to that program group if it's no longer available for purchase, it's no longer in the shop? So it was probably, I think it was missed by a lot of people here, but there was a newsletter that went out on April 8th. And it mentioned, the newsletter wasn't specifically about expert program, but there was a note in there that mentioned that all those people in that 8-month window from July 2021 to April 2022, the expert program group was unlocked for everybody. So everyone now has access to that for free. And then anybody that had a subscription for expert program group, those were all canceled back in April as well. So it's now consistent and universal for everybody across Healy. Everyone has access to that expert program group. So makes it easier to explain things, certainly going forward as well. And other than that, I'll check some questions in the chat, but we're not going to have we're not going to have a Healy for Beginners and Beyond this Thursday. But since Adriana showed the MagHealy she has, and I have one here that I'm running for the first time, we actually just got access to the app today. So over the coming weeks and into June, we will definitely be doing some sort of sneak peeks as well into the actual operation of the MagHealy and how it works with the app once we get closer to the official launch. So we're going to prepare a lot of content for sure and have all that available for everybody. So it's good to go once we are ready to. We'll have a lot of content already before we launch rather than after the fact. We're going to come prepared for everybody to help out and make the initial onboarding experience for everybody with MagHealy as smooth as possible. So that's it for today for me.
Well, thank you, Jake. I'm sure you are going to get some questions on the chat now about what you mentioned, but absolutely, everybody's saying your Tech Tip Tuesday call is one not to miss. And again, UTC is very important. Even myself, I have to recalibrate my brain, right? It's only 2 hours, but how do you make sure that you have your meetings and your closing on UTC time? So all of you are gaining 2 hours actually, which is great. So know about that, but it just takes a little bit to get used to it. And also then again, the MagHealy, we have some time waiver practitioners. Not only he mentioned the expert page, but we have a lot of time waiver practitioners that already have their Healy, MagHealy in hand, including Doc Steve and Derek that many of you met in our event. So hopefully we will have some really cool trainings. There is Doc Steve showing his. We'll have some really good training, hopefully insider training, even before we launch. So that's exciting. With that said,
actually, Adriana, it's just to put it out there, it's really, really, really easy to operate. It's even easier to operate than the Healy is. You just basically, you know, turn it on and choose your program, and away you go. So again, you'll find that you can get started immediately with the MagHealy.
that's incredible, because we have the promotion that we're going to speak about, where again, all of you could earn a MagHealy with a discounted price. So I'm going to start with our Sky High promotion. Please let me know if you can see my screen. All good? Excellent. All right. So our Sky High promotion started on May 19th and it ends at the end of this month. Again, point out UTC. So 2359 UTC instead of CET that we were used to. Now, the wonderful thing about this promotion is that you can purchase a Resonance Plus for the price of a Resonance. And at the same time, in the cart, you can upgrade to Professional for only 300 euros addition to that. I mean, guys, think about this, do the math. This is over 50% discount on a professional device. So you can purchase a Resonance Plus for the price of a Resonance Edition. And at the same time, you don't have to receive it and get your serial number, none of that. At the same time, we made sure that all of your new customers or new members, or if you're making a new purchase, you are able to upgrade to the Professional Edition for only 300 euros. Now, we have some videos that we want to show you, whether it's for a new customer or actually a existing member. So some of you already actually received a Resonance Plus as a gift, as a recognition. Some of you purchased because of the promotion that we had. And you can also now go in and do a upgrade to Professional. All of these terms and conditions are available on your back office. So make sure you go on there, look at your flyers. Newsletter was sent out, so you have all of this information. But again, like it says here, enter your local Healy shop, go to Editions tab, purchase the Resonance Plus, and then go to Add to Cart. Then from there, go to Upgrades. And then you can upgrade from a Resonance Plus to a Professional for only 300 euros in addition to, and order now and add to cart. Now, here's a very helpful video that will teach you how to do that. Can you guys hear it? Oh.
We can't hear it, but there's, you know, we can see everything that's going on there.
Let me stop sharing, put the audio again, if you don't mind. Share some. There we go. Again.
Add that to my cart. Okay, so right now I'm using Safari and I'm on the Australian Healy shop. I'm going to scroll down and order a Healy Resonance Plus edition. position. So I'll go ahead.
Well, some people are clicking things.
Okay, so right now I'm using Safari and I'm on the Australian Healy shop. I'm going to scroll down and order a Healy Resonance Plus edition. So I'll go ahead and add that to my cart. I'm just going to view the cart to make sure it's been added, which it has. Okay, so now I'm coming up to shop, down to upgrades in the sub-menu, and I find the upgrade from Healy Resonance Plus to Professional, order now. From the drop-down menu, I'm going to select the new Healy device, which is currently in my cart. Now I'm going to click Add to Cart. Now, if I look over to view my cart, I can see that my Resonance Plus edition is there and my Plus to Professional upgrade is there, and my discounts have been applied. So my total owing for the Healy Professional is $2,746.37. I can click Proceed to Checkout. And now it wants me to log in and go through that process. So
that's Australian dollars, by the way. In this video.
Yes, exactly. Again, let me see if we have any questions on that. But one of our team members actually did another video that should be very helpful for all of you, and we'll make sure to also share on our chats and our Telegram. Give me one quick second so I can share with you this video. Kudos to Miguel. Please, everybody, say thank you. Hold on one second. Can all of you see the YouTube? Perfect. So I see some claps. I don't know, Jake, if you want to add anything into that. I see some.
I want to definitely thank Miguel for putting that together. We on such short notice. We did that. I think it was a Monday now. This week's kind of been crazy, but
I know.
we asked him to put together that video, and an hour later we had it up on YouTube. So that was great. And then this video here was actually So this one is from the point of view as if you were an existing member, already have an account, and you saw at the beginning you logged in and then did the steps where you add the Resonance Plus and then you add the upgrade. Of course, if you're a brand new member, you wouldn't do the login step. You would just be going straight to adding the device and then adding the upgrade. But this video, of course, shows that whole process there as well. So yes, thank you, Miguel, for doing that for all of us.
Thank you so much. And again, so you saw both videos where one shows as a new customer, as a brand new member, and then for those of you that are existing. Again, take advantage of this promotion. It is incredible. We need to go out there and spread it to the world. I mean, they can purchase, anybody can purchase a Resonance Plus for the price of a Resonance edition. And on top of that, upgrade to a professional for only 300 euros. In addition to that, this is even better promotion than we had before. Do the math, guys. Truly, it is a better promotion than we've had even in the last 2 months. So think about this. Resonance Plus for the price of Resonance, and on top of that, they can upgrade for only 300 euros in addition to that to a professional. So yesterday, as we always have our regular weekly calls, Doc Steve and Ken Close, we were speaking, how can we make people understand the power of having a professional? And there are a few modules that you have in addition in that module or in that edition, I should say. And with that, I want to introduce them. I have slides to introduce you guys, but I think I don't need to share. Many of you know Ken Close, and especially his topic. He's going to speak about the amazing module of digital nutrition and how to have a fit body in a way. So Ken Close, if you can
take it away, right?
Yeah,
there we go.
Take it away.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for that. And this value, and you're going to hear from Doc as well. And we're going to help you. Really, I want to help you, not push you, but guide you into feeling the value of what we have in the palms of our hands with our Healy. And some of the things that we may not be aware of, because it's literally when we're changing our lives, it's not what we know now. It's what we don't know yet that's going to move us to the next level, right? What we know now got us here. That's awesome, but it's not going to get us to the next level. So I want to kind of take you guys, if it's okay with you, to the next level. How's that sound? Yeah. Okay. So there was a concept invented by Healy. How many of you guys before Healy ever heard of digital nutrition? How many? Anybody? This is okay, Doc, you don't count. Stop it. There's some of us that are in the information field all the time. But the point is digital nutrition was not really a known entity, because nutrition, I'm in my world, I'm in the fitness world, my world, nutrition is a big thing. And when you're exercising, then what goes along with that is a recovery protocol. And part of that recovery protocol is, of course, what chemistry your body's using to support what you just did. And chemistry is essentially the nutrition, the food you take in, it's broken down into chemistry. But the last part of the way that the body actually utilizes that chemistry is via energy. It's the frequency of the energetic code that the body is going to actually, or the cell structure is actually going to intake and utilize as its booster. Okay. So what we have here with Healy is we have the digital nutrition. It's got 6 pages of 12 individual mixes per page. Now do the math. That's a lot of content. So 6 whole pages, right? There's a bunch of pages. And on there are mixes for very specific purposes. And these are combinations of vitamins, minerals, nutrients that are designed to do jobs, just like you guys are familiar with, say, the Gold Cycle programs, and there's one on there that's called Relax, right? Or one that's called Energy or Pure. What are those for? They have a very specific purpose, and that purpose is to guide the body energetically into that specific state. So digital nutrition does another little deep dive into influencing the cell structure at the energetic level, or at the level of frequency or vibration. And when we send a signal into the body, and we talk about this a lot on Tech Tip Tuesday or any of the calls I'm on, when we send a signal into the body via the microcurrent or even magnetic energies via the coil, and some of the things that MagHealy is going to be doing, when we send a signal in the body, it sends very distinct information to the genetic coding of the cells. And I want you to understand that there is 800,000 cells per second being reorganized in your body, being rebuilt, 800,000 per second. Some of you have heard me say this before. And 97% of that genetic code is adaptive. What's that mean? It means it's reading the environment so that it can be properly prepared, so the host, the body itself, can operate within the boundaries that it's trying to navigate in your life. So if we're able to now hone into that 97% of the adaptive gene and give it some content, right? Give it some frequency, give it some information, we can actually start to steer or guide the cell progression or the cell expression. And digital nutrition has a very distinct place in which it inputs content into the body as it's being expressed or built. Those 6 different pages of content on there, it's sectioned out in terms of, the different modalities of the body, whether it be muscle or hair or kidneys or blood. Even, I don't know if any of you guys are out maybe a little late one night having a good time, you're out there having a couple of those cocktails or whatever, and maybe you got something to do you next day. Well, guess what? There's an alcohol intake digital nutrition program that I'm just saying, I'm not going to say it's a cure to anything, but it sure as heck aligns things pretty well. So it's called alcohol intake. What do you think it's trying to do? There are very specific nutrients, minerals, mostly in electrolytes and things like that. The body gets depleted when you consume alcohol. And so these things are digitally, energetically imprinted into the body so that the body can then, do its job, which is what? Its job is to heal. Its job is to grow. Its job is to help you navigate in your life. And some of the things that I want to kind of hone in here on when it comes to creating a fit body. The most important interface component to creating a fit body is the mind. It's always going to be the mind. But there's some supporting structures that we can actually add with what any of our modules that we have. And one of these that I'm talking about is digital nutrition. And there is a mix or a digital nutrition program called Brain. And when the brain is chemically balanced, the chemically charged or operating within its chemical boundaries, then it's a better host to help you navigate your thoughts. And the thoughts are still the biggest influence, creates the thing of the body. But when your brain is balanced chemically through this digital nutrition protocol, then you start to feel like you have a little bit more empowerment. So that's one that I like to use often. When it comes to fitness, when we work out, there's certain hormonal and chemical interfaces that happen, including the stress response. And within the digital nutrition protocol, there are alignments and programs that help with some of the psychology. And there's a psyche program on there. Not only that, it also has very specific amino acid profiles to help support the natural process of our workout protocol. I have what I call the Ken biohack. I actually use 2 Healys at the same time. I'm going to give you my secret. When I am exercising, when I'm actually in my workout, I will run a microcurrent program where I'm running the current through my body around muscle, the program muscle on the fitness page. And then I'll also run a secondary program with the coil to propagate a magnetic signal for such things such as either I'll run strength. So now I'm building that biohack around the cell structure. Remember, 97% of the gene that's adaptive, reading the environment, I'm sending it a magnetic signal to be strong or strength, right? I can also run with that other coil, that other Healy and the coil, I can also run some amino acids from the digital nutrition. I can run things around muscle. I can also run a muscle program from the digital nutrition protocol, which is going to do what? It's actually energizing cell receptor sites, actually increasing energy of the cell to match the environment so that the nutrients and content you have on board can be more bioavailable. Now, hear me, this is huge. When we're trying to change our body and we're eating healthy and we're doing all the right things, and yet we're not getting the results we expect, the biggest factor to the problem with that is the bioavailability of the food. It's not being utilized by the cell structures. Now, the things that get in the way, of course, is our stress response, as well as some of the genetics could be within the body. So we can now increase cell receptor sites for very specific content or amino acids, vitamins, minerals, the things that you're already ingesting. Digital nutrition does not replace eating. Okay, hear me. It does not replace eating. It's still up to you to make sure that you are ingesting proper content. Okay. Sorry, folks, it does not give you the green light for the donuts and the Twinkies and the thing. Now, I'm just saying that, treat yourself the way that you feel is necessary for your rewards, but be diligent about what we're taking in, and then use this system, digital nutrition, to actually increase the body's uptake and the ability to utilize it. It's been shown since the early 60s, as agriculture become more and more commercialized, that the content, the mineral and vitamin content in vegetables is starting to reduce, or has been reducing for decades. And so it takes more of these, good foods and properly grown foods to increase our nutrients. Now, if you guys have your own garden, you know what I'm talking about, how different that is versus what you buy in the grocery stores, right? I mean, it's like night and day. And so kudos to you that have your own garden. It's a lot of work, and man, give me your address. I'll come over and we'll have some yummy stuff together. But we can also increase the bioavailability of what we're intaking right now. And I'm going to tell you, this module, it's a subscription you can get for $35.50 a day or a month, $35.50 a month. Okay. But listen, you just heard, what's it cost to upgrade the Healy Resonance Plus to a professional? What's it cost? It's 300 euros, right? Do the math for me. Take $35.50, multiply it by a year. How much is that? It's over $400, just so you know. It's more than this upgrade to professional. And you don't just get digital nutrition. Doc's going to talk about some other cool stuff, right? You get even more than that. But I'm just saying, just this one module over a year's period of time will pay for that upgrade. Does that make sense? All right, you guys. So take this digital nutrition, get out there, plug it in, upgrade your device, plug it in, hook up, and let's make what we are eating and what we are doing just a whole nother level of effectiveness. How about that? Who's in? Come on, show me the chat. Let's do it. And then when we meet next time, yeah, I say we go to the gym. Let's get our Let's get our fitness on.
No, absolutely. And thank you, because again, when we were speaking last night, I said, I'm actually not even that that understanding or that educated on the digital nutrition and how much, I mean, we all know, I mean, so much that our Healy devices can do. And just this module on its own has so many layers that can just describe in just what 50 minutes. I mean, imagine if we can do over and over other educations, because truly I'm sure that not just by only running one Healy, but having two, etc., that you can teach us even more on how to maximize this module. So thank you, Ken, always for being here and for educating us. There's a ton of questions on the chat. So hopefully, again, the goal is that every week we have some more education depending on the needs of it. But he just told you $35.50 just in a year. You are paying what it would be an upgrade to a professional that you have it for life, guys. You don't need to be a mathematician to know the benefits of this. And not only that, I'm going to hand it over to Doc Steve, because he's going to speak about something that he's told us on his favorite programs. And he even spoke about it during the roadshow on the bioenergetic vitalization. And I know we all want to be young and beautiful and live forever. So he's going to speak a little bit about that too.
Thanks, Adriana. So as you mentioned, it's one of my top 2 favorite programs of all Healy programs. And I'll tell you why. We basically have in our hands the ability to create anti-aging in our bodies. People spend tens of thousands of dollars to travel to places like Mexico or Switzerland to get stem cell injections. And the thing about that is it only lasts for a short period of time, and then they need to return and return and return. And we have the same ability to do that with our Healys. And what am I referring to? So first and foremost, we have the microcurrent, which allows us to increase cell membrane potential. And why is that important? Well, it's important because the electrical component of our cells over time, as we age, starts to decrease because of things like stress and inflammation and other environmental factors. And as they decrease, we start to get into things like inflammation, degeneration, cancer, and then of course, if you have no cell voltage in your body, you're legally declared dead. You don't exist anymore. But by daily delivery of microcurrent into the body, we are creating new and healthy cells. And as we all know, in a period of 7 years, if we were to tag any specific cell in your body, you would find after 7 years, those cells no longer appear. In other words, we create an entirely new body every 7 years. We literally create an entirely new body every 7 years as we regenerate our cells and our organs. So we have that component, which is a very important component. Then we have the bioenergetic vitalization program, which to me is the cherry on top, because this program includes the frequencies of stem cells for all the various organs and tissues in the body. And in combination of using the bioenergetic vitalization program along with doing regular microcurrent programs, and of course, when I run the bioenergetic vitalization program, I always do it as a microcurrent program, i.e., I use either the wrist bracelets, or if I'm trying to work on a specific area of my body or organ of my body, I might use the sticky pads. And so what's the concept of the bioenergetic vitalization program? Well, it's basically what I call the 3 R's. We all know in school the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Well, for bioenergetic vitalization, it's recovery, repair, and regeneration. So as Ken was talking about the whole idea of his approach to fitness, Well, it's great to use bioenergetic vitalization when you're on any type of a fitness program, because as we know, when we work out and go to the gym, especially if we're doing any kind of muscle building, there's a period of time right after you work out where the muscles actually break down. And therefore, you need about 24 hours for those muscles to recover. That's why it's always recommended when you're working with a trainer at a gym not to exercise the same muscle groups every single day, because there is a time period there where of recovery and repair where those muscles need to do that. And then, of course, if somebody is undergoing any type of a surgery, you'll want to work again with recovery and then also repair, and then even to the level of regeneration, which can regenerate damaged organs. So in this particular program, we have 12 specific subsets, and they are Regeneration 1, Regeneration 2, and Regeneration 3. And you can look at those particular programs similar to the way you look at the deep cycle programs. And when you look at deep cycle 1, 2, and 3, they're sort of the programs that introduces the frequencies into the body. So before you choose any of the other program sets from bioenergetic revitalization, it's important for you to at least run the Regeneration 1, the Regeneration 2, and the Regeneration 3. That basically primes the body to start to understand those frequencies and get used to those frequencies. And then, of course, we have the programs for various aspects of organs and tissues in the body. We have bones, we have tissue, we have nerves and cells, which are the areas that you would want to work with in terms of regeneration and repair. We also have the pineal gland. The pineal gland is extremely important. It's in the area of the third eye, and we do know that over time, as we age, the pineal gland begins to crystallize. And so what this program does is helps break up that crystallization. So we have more utilization of that gland. It's largest as we are born, and over time tends to shrink or crystallize. And then we have some additional programs that are the stability program for overall stability of the structure, a program called holistic support, which is more of a generalized program that works on any specific area that the body actually needs. We have what's called the youth program, which is a great program. It is the program specifically designed for anti-aging of the body. And then we have an interesting program called epigenetic harmonization, which is in Ken's wheelhouse because he is our Healy epigeneer. And basically, you know, in terms of epigenetics, we know that we're born with specific DNA, but it is not a fait accompli. In other words, it's been learned over the recent years that DNA is not necessarily something that is an end-all process. In other words, if you specifically inherit a specific set of genes from your family, you don't necessarily have that particular disease set. It really depends on the environment. In other words, the environment of your body, the environment of the food you take, as Ken was referring to in terms of the digital nutritional analysis. So this goes in hand with digital nutrition analysis. And we've now learned that it's more of the environment that affects the DNA of the body than the DNA alone. So therefore, this particular program works to balance out any of the specific indications. In other words, if you have a bad diet, if you're under a lot of stress, issues of that nature, the epigenetic harmonization will help work directly with the DNA of your body. And that basically is what the bioenergetic vitalization program is about. I had it the day it went, it became available. I use it on a regular basis in a rotation. I either choose the program that seems applicable based on the condition that I'm dealing with, or I run a scan and see what the Healy chooses for me. But, I think we all want to stay young and healthy. And I was reading an article the other day that says that, we have the potential, we literally have the potential in our DNA to live at least 120 years. And so I'm working towards that goal. I just recently crossed the 70-year-old mark, and I think I'm looking at, feeling really great for somebody of my age. And that's because I've been working with frequencies for the last 25 years. And now I've included the bioenergetic vitalization program. So it is also available by subscription if you don't get it in the professional. But again, like Ken said, I'm not sure the exact price. I forgot to look it up before the Zoom. But again, it's much, considering you can get the DNA and the bioenergetic vitalization for a one-time upgrade of $300, I think it's one of the best deals that Healy offers. So I highly encourage you, if you haven't looked at or studied the bioenergetic vitalization program, to really take advantage of this offer, because it's an amazing offer. It's a program that every one of you will want.
Absolutely. Again, type on here 111 if your mind is blown by this information. I think this is incredible, incredible. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Ken, again, because you bring just a little bit more insight of these amazing modules that we have available and program groups that we have available. And again, just not only the value that they have on our lives, but then how you can get them at such a small value at this time.
Adriana, there's questions about some of us have the grandfather Healys, the grandfather resonance editions, and those are also eligible for upgrades. They don't qualify for this current promo, but go to your back office and you'll see very specific terminology for these upgrades. The Resonance Plus is one particular line item. The Resonance, which is the grandfathered one, is another line item, and you can upgrade either one of those to the professional. And I suggest this, like Doc said, like we've just covered, if you take the subscription over time versus the one-time upgrade you own forever. And we're going to 120 years old and beyond, folks. So that's going to be a bit of expense for some of us that are super young, like myself. I'm getting a one-time gig and I'm going all the way. So let's do it, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what the cost, it's the value is still higher than the price tag. All right. I love you guys. Thank you.
That's a very good point. 100 years with our Healys. And with that said, thank you for all the information again, but then we're going to go into how you can earn a MagHealy. And Doc, we didn't speak about this yesterday, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Before I even go into how everybody can earn a MagHealy, from anywhere between 12.5% discount up to 100% discount. Tell us your experience as a time waiver practitioner and being able to have a MagHealy in your hands.
Well, it's been great. I've been very excited and waiting for this. Being the US member of the Product Advisory Board, I knew this device was coming up about 9 months ago. I've been watching it go through its iterations, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it because I am the US beta tester for any of the new devices that come out. And I can tell you that I'm real excited about this. It is different than the Healy. People say to me, well, if I get a MagHealy, do I need a Healy? If I have a Healy, do I need a MagHealy? All I could say is they're two very different devices that do very different things. And in terms of the MagHealy, the Mag should give you a clue in that we're dealing more in the magnetic realm, whereas with the Healy, we're dealing more in the microcurrent realm, and then with the coil, we're dealing with scalar waves. Now we're moving into the magnetic range, which has very deep penetration. But the exciting thing about the MagHealy is that it has an actual Kazarev mirror in the MagHealy itself. The Healy was too small to be able to put a Kazarev mirror and a quantum sensor in. So our Kazarev mirror for the Healy is in the cloud, but in the MagHealy, we actually have the Kazarev mirror as part of the device itself, which is really, really exciting. As we know, Marcus talks about it all the time. And then we have not one, but two quantum sensors. The Healy has one quantum sensor, which means it can deliver only one specific frequency at a time. And as you know, when you watch the programs, as you're treating yourself, you'll see that frequency change. Well, in the MagHealy, we have actually 2 channels. So as you're running the MagHealy, you'll see channel A and channel B, and you'll see different frequencies on each of them. And one of the frequency sets, along with the McMakin protocol, deals with the specific organ system that you're working on. And then the other number or frequency will deal with the specific condition that you're working with. So for example, if you have, say, arthritis in your elbow, channel A would be running frequencies of anti-inflammatories, and then the other channel would run the joints. So you'll have a much more powerful experience doing it that way. But that's not all. Besides the McMakin programs, we have 3 other modules that come with the MagHealy. One of them is called the classical mode, which deals with body, mind, and spirit. And then we have a 3rd module, which is the water module, which is going to allow you to literally program water with different conditions and states. So you'll be able to put the MagHealy next to, say, a liter bottle of water or a gallon of water, and actually program that water on a daily basis into specific states. And then the 3rd one, which is one of my favorites, is what's called the atmosphere programs. And with the atmosphere programs, what this allows you to do is to literally change your environment. What I mean by that is that there are specific frequencies in there that help you with your coherence to the specific condition of what you're doing. So for example, if you have a student at home or a child at home that's doing homework, you'd want to run that particular study program so that they can get an enhancement in terms of learning. If you have children outside playing, you may want to put the MagHealy outside because it encourages the whole concept of play. If you have pets, there's a frequency for pets. You can put it next to pets. It would be great. And another area I think this is going to be really fantastic for us. And I work with a lot of rescues here in LA, and I'd love to see the MagHealy in rescues, putting frequencies out to work with calming dogs down. You have, again, all these options of different environments that you can be at. And you know, we had an event up in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago with a group of 25 doctors and health practitioners that use Healy with Marcus. And at the end of the event, I had just received my my MagHealy, and we all sat around a round table and put the MagHealy in the center. And I turned on the program, and almost instantaneously, everybody could actually feel the energetic vibration from the MagHealy. It's very palpable in terms of feeling the frequencies itself. And then many of you who I saw at the Healy Homecoming, again, a number of us had MagHealys there. You chance to experience the actual feeling of what it's like when you run those atmosphere programs. So again, very exciting. Coming up on July 1st, I believe. And what an incredible opportunity this month and next month to be able to get a MagHealy for free. The cost with taxes, depending upon your states and local taxes, I always say is approximately $3,000 US. So isn't it incredible to be able to get one for free with the promotion the next 2 months? And I'm sure Adriana will now share with you how that is available.
You know, I want to add something, Doc. You made some super great points there. So there's a group, some of you guys are familiar with some of the work with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and we're building an intention and an energy that we could walk into a children's hospital and hold an intention of healing. And with the MagHealy, guess what we can do? We can walk into an environment and we can actually hold a magnetic energy. We can actually increase the potential within the environment for healing and alignment. So I say, you know, let's all go out there and visit some of our favorite spaces with our new MagHealy and start to propagate that signal, increase that energy in our planet.
There's one thing I wanted to add that I left out here, which is another important factor in terms of the MagHealy, which is that the Healy, as we know, works in a frequency range from 0.1 hertz to 1 megahertz. But the MagHealy now takes that up to 12.5 megahertz. And at that range, a lot of additional powerful healing processes occur. It's been shown in the literature that when you expose the body to frequencies that are above 10 megahertz, some really powerful healing can occur on all levels. So again, that's another added feature that we have in the MagHealy that we don't have in the Healy. Somebody, I just looked up on my screen, somebody said, how can we get the necklace? Well, you notice that Ken is wearing the same necklace that I'm wearing. This was available from when we were at the Healy homecoming. There was our Mexican group who showed up, and they actually hand make these necklaces of all different types. And you'll see that Marcus wears one now too. He chose one with purple beads, and then it also comes with a holder, which makes it really convenient to carry your Healy. I will see if I can get that direct link to be able to share that with people. But again, it was brought to the event by a group from Mexico. And I absolutely love it, by the way. And the coil is in here, so it prevents the coil from falling out. It's a real secure connection here. And then on the back, it actually has a space for scanning the serial number. So it was extremely well made. Again, I will get that link for everybody next week.
I
So,
am
back over to you,
loving the energy of this group. Again, everybody look at the chat. I am filled with energy just looking at Laura. She's jumping up and down, and and Clive and Lori and Sandra, Fred, Paula. Again, thank you for being, and Toby for being on camera. Hi, Anita. Again, it's always amazing to see your faces, but your reactions through all of this it just fills me up with energy, and I'm sure it does with the rest of the team. But again, thank you, Doc. Thank you, Ken. And this is just the beginning of many, many more training moments and testimonials. We are so thankful to having so many dedicated members in our team. And this is, again, I can't say it enough. It's just the beginning, guys. Believe in it. Take a deep breath, because you are in that amazing wave that is about to splash everywhere. And the MagHealy that is coming, again, it's not a replacement, it is an addition to. So from all your clients, all your members, everybody that you've had that is committed to knowing how Healy, our device, has changed your lives, the MagHealy, it's another wave that is coming through. It is not a replacement, it is an addition to. So stay tuned, because again, you have the opportunity, just like I said, and Doc Steve mentioned, that you can earn it. Imagine being the first ones to have it in your hands. Who wants to be the first one? Who? Oh, not Jake. Why am I showing Jake? It shouldn't be Jake, but he kind of is. Okay, let's do this again. There we go. Who wants to be the first ones to have a MagHealy in their hands, and not only be the first ones to have it before it launches to the market, but the fact that you can earn it at discounted price? So I know we all love freebies. I know you all love freebies. So I kind of don't need to go through this, but you can take a screenshot, as we are already at 2 o'clock. So I don't want to go over, but this is some of the things that Marcus Schmieke, as well as Doc Steve, every Frequencies and Friends, we're going over the series with Carolyn McMakin and him on knowing how these frequencies work. Know that the MagHealy will be available in July, fingers crossed, for 2,800 euros, but you can earn it by either 12.5%, 25%, or 50% discount. This is through the month of May. Now, either you can do it with two options. Option one is your personal sales or personally sponsored members or customers. So with 2,000 points, you can earn it. You can buy a Healy at 12.5% discount. With 3,000 points, you can get a MagHealy at 25%, and with 5,000 points, you can get the MagHealy at 50% discount. Now, your option two, it's if you have your entire team, your first line, plus your personal, with either 4,000, 6,000, or 10,000 points. We're working on getting you a widget or a report where you can make sure that you're keeping track on this, on where you are, but as well, you can go on your back office and see where your personal sales are and your first line members are too. Now, July goes through again. I mean, not July, June. So let's say you achieve May, then you can accumulate the same in June. So if you have a new member that joined in May, maybe wants to start in June, that's okay. Maybe you're a little slow in May or haven't had the time. It's all cumulative. So you can accumulate from May and June, and then in July, be able to earn. So for example, let's say you earn bronze in May, bronze in June, then that accumulates 25%. Let me show you again. So right here on the screen, you can see 12.5. So it's cumulative, guys. It is amazing because it's not only 12.5%, it can be up to 25%, up to 50%, and even up to 100%. I am one that always love to earn things, and I can't imagine earning a 2,800 euro device that is going to change my life completely for free. Takes work, takes dedication, but I know you can do this. So set yourself to make this happen, and set your teams, because with our even our fast start promotion, everybody can earn this. I mean, come on, I want to see the comments on here because this is so amazing. Who wants to have? I don't want to say I want 25%. I don't want to say I want 50%. I want 100%. How about you? How about you? Yes, we will make sure that you get your reports and every way that you can. Love it, Revlency, me, 100%. Absolutely, Paula, you got it. We're gonna make this. David, we're gonna make this happen for all of you. So again, before I actually close, I want to recognize, because recognition is so important to me. At the homecoming, it was hard for me to keep my tears while I was on stage, recognizing all of you, receiving your awards. I think recognition is important. It brings energy and it brings strength to move forward and know, and validation on what you're doing well, so you can continue moving forward. So in the month of April, we had some rank advancements for the first time. Executive team managers, I want to recognize Andrea Moreno Rodriguez and Valerie Curel DeSanti. Flavio Vargas del Toro, Giovanna Aviles, Laura Maria Arrioja, Lee Wang, Leila Mettinger, Leila Siciliano, Marla Minerva Carrasco, and Yanglei Martinez. Please join me on recognizing them for achieving executive team managers for the first time. And this is huge, in the month of April, our only senior director rank advancement, Rebecca Hall. All of you met her at the event, and we so appreciate her. Congratulations. And with that said, please make sure you join all of our meetings. Tech Tip Tuesday, What's Up Wednesday, Healy for Beginners and Beyond will be next week, and tomorrow night, Jueves Juntos con Healy, as well as our frequencies and friends that will be on June 1st. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all that you do. Your frequencies, your energy are everything here at Healy. We appreciate you as part of our family, and we can't wait to see you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.